I spit Patron on this microphone. Watch out, I'm in the zone. Worth for everything I own. Life is March Madness. One mistake, then you go. Yeah, I had a stroke, but your boy still rhyming. And Fresh got love, but the squad still wildin'. Catch me in any city in the hood, we grinding.
So there are some conflicting reports out there. We know that Terrence Crawford expressed interest in fighting Manny Pacquiao next, but according to Manny Pacquiao's manager, they're looking into Conor McGregor. Take a look at an article from MMA Junkie. This article was written November 21st, 2020. And McGregor's manager, Artie Attar of Paradigm Sports Management, is steadfast in his belief that McGregor will fight boxing champion Manny Pacquiao. Why? Because Attar represents Pacquiao, and he knows both of his clients want the fight. Conor has a fight on January 23rd against Dustin Poirier. Attar said in an interview with Bloomberg, he's going to be handling business against Dustin first, but Conor's come out and said he wants Manny Pacquiao. Manny's come out and said he wants to fight Conor. As I've stated publicly before, we've had conversations. That is a fight that we're definitely going to make because both fighters want it. And there seems to be interest from the fans all around the world. So, as recent as November 21st, and for those of you who don't understand, that was yesterday, Manny Pacquiao's manager and Conor McGregor's manager came out and said he intends to have them fight each other after Conor McGregor's fight in the UFC. So, Trill Dollar Bill, what's your reaction to that?
I absolutely love it. If y'all have been watching Boxing Bros, I have been advocating for Manny Pacquiao to be able to ride off in the sunset. Everybody has mentioned fights that Manny Pacquiao can fight and other people that they want Manny Pacquiao to fight. I'm done. I think that Manny Pacquiao has given us everything. I think he has given them all of him. Like he's given his Filipino comrades and fellow countrymen. He has given all of himself. And he's given all of himself to boxing as a young boy, as a young man into now. Manny Pacquiao has nothing else to prove. He has nothing else to prove. I want him to ride off in the sunset. I've been saying this, and this is a beautiful fight for him to ride off in the sunset, make some good money, and he gets to ride off and spend the rest of his term with his beautiful family, which he deserves to do because he has given us so much entertainment and brought so much joy to my heart watching him fight and watching him compete. I seen his last fight with Keith Thurman. It was a great fight. Manny Pacquiao always fights the bigger guys. He was able to drop Keith, and I had Manny winning by one round because of that knockdown. After that fight, I seen Manny Pacquiao. And when I seen Manny Pacquiao, I didn't like how he looked when he was leaving that arena. And I was like, I think that Manny Pacquiao gave us enough. And I was like, if I want to see him in there, I want to see him in there with somebody like a Conor. Something that could be a showcase so he can just do something for his fans and say goodbye to the boxing community that he's done, gave us everything. I think that Manny Pacquiao, if anybody, he deserves this fight right here, this exhibition. That's what it is. Because the great Manny Pacquiao, I feel, is going to just be a showcase for the great Manny Pacquiao, something he can just ride off to the sunset. I think he deserves it. I believe in my heart he truly deserves it. I don't want to see him in there with none of these young bulls anymore. He doesn't have nothing to prove. He doesn't have nothing to prove. He showed you how great he was in that last fight. Keith Thurman is no slouch. We give him a hard time sometimes, but the way he be acting sometimes. But Keith Thurman is no slouch. He was hitting Manny with some hard shots. These are bigger guys. This is a big welterweight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go on too much. I like this. I like this fight, and I think that Manny Pacquiao deserves this fight, and he deserves to ride off in the sunset. Kudos. Make this fight. Make this fight. I don't want to see Manny in there with nobody else.
Gee.
I'm torn because I understand exactly what you're saying. Let's believe. I don't want him to finish off with no Conor McGregor, bro. I have to be honest. And I'm not even going to pay for that fight because it's going to be too one-sided. It's like literally I don't see Conor doing anything in that fight against Pacquiao. I have to be real.
It's to say goodbye to Pacquiao. You ain't gonna buy it to say goodbye to Pacquiao? All the joy, all the love?
That would be the only reason I support that fight. It's literally just to, like, you know what?
Squash all that.
Hold on.
You see, like, Conor McGregor doing damage. Like, I think he's gonna get.
You knew that you supported some. I'm not gonna be like the other people, but you knew that you got people, you done supported fighters that you knew was gonna win. This is the great Manny Pacquiao. It's your decision. I'm not trying to change.
Like, to me, it's.
Now, hold up. Forget all that. You're saying you wouldn't pay to watch Manny Pacquiao fight Conor McGregor, fine. But you would pay to watch him fight TC?
Yeah. Why not? You know what I mean? That's a good fight. Like, Pacquiao, although he's old, he's still competitive. You see what I'm saying? So, and he showed us with the Thurman fight how competitive he is. So he's still got the dog left in him. It's just, to me, it's like, when I watched that Conor versus Floyd fight, and literally Floyd was toying with this dude that entire fight, I'm just like, he doesn't deserve to be in the ring with none of these guys. Like, and I get it, it's just a payday, right? Because Conor still has the MMA.
A huge name.
Yeah, so it's like, if anything, the only way I'm going to watch that fight is because of Pacquiao. But I don't want Pacquiao to leave boxing off of Conor McGregor's name. I would like it if he did that with, like, somebody that's still one of the top welterweights.
Okay, so G, let me just ask you a question then.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk. I appreciate everything you're saying. Don't agree with it, but I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Which fight do you think would generate more money?
Conor, obviously.
Terrence Crawford or Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor. He has the whole.
So you would rather see the legendary Manny Pacquiao go out fighting Terrence Crawford?
I never said Terrence Crawford. I said a top welterweight.
Who?
It could have been Earl.
Who? Name him. Name the top welterweight. Name him.
I'm gonna say
anyone.
Earl.
Name him.
I think
Earl Spence.
I think Earl Spence.
Okay. What fight do you think is going to generate more money? Manny Pacquiao versus Earl Spence or Manny Pacquiao versus Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor is going to generate the most regardless out of all of the options for Pacquiao. I agree. I just don't want him to walk away from this division when, like, he is the meal ticket for a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? And like, he doesn't owe anything to nobody. That's why I like what Trill was saying. It's correct. That's why I said I was torn. I want him to provide that alley-oop for one of these young bloods. But if he's not going to do it, that's cool. But it's just like, Conor, though, that's my only gripe. It's like,
I think
at least if Conor did, like, let's say he had like a tune-up where Conor could prove he's been taking boxing serious and he's showing his technique, showing that he can endure all 12 rounds and still look good, then I could be like, all right, you know what? I would like to see Pacquiao versus Conor. But if all I could go is based off of his last performance. His last performance was horrendous. So I just know it's going to be a repeat of that. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, this is literally an exhibition. So that's what I'm paying for. It's like, I'm literally paying to see Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones again. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that Manny Pacquiao deserves it. I think the whole thing about he's leaving on a Conor, he's leaving on a Manny. He's leaving on a Pacquiao. He's leaving, like, I don't think he already done. This is a huge reward for Manny Pacquiao. After being in this brutal sport, I'm taking so many punches. After that fight with Thurman, it was sad watching Pacquiao leave. It was sad. It was like it was done. It's like you're watching a man, right? Like, give his all. You know what I'm saying? He gave his all for the fans, for the people, for the viewers, out of his life. Every time he's in there, he's taken away from his life. You know what I'm saying? I think for some odd reason he won that fight with Thurman, but he lost that war. Like, just seeing his reaction, seeing his face, seeing the worry in his wife's, the concern in her face. I'm good with seeing Pacquiao go. He deserves a Conor McGregor. He doesn't deserve to be in there with a big TC, a big Earl Spence. He gave us enough. I don't want to see him take any more punishment in there. It's just going to get, it's not fair. And he gave other guys the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? By coming to PBC, he stepped in there with Broner. He stepped in there with Thurman. He broke his retina, his eye with Broner. He went in there with Thurman, and he was in a tough fight where he was visibly shaking after that fight. This guy doesn't have nothing else to prove. I get what you're saying before the stigma and the respect of the whole division and for fighting and for boxing, but he deserves this fight. I don't want to see him in there with none of these guys. He's done. He's retired. He's done. He's been past his prime, and he's still showing the heart of a dog. Why kill the last bit of dog in him? Let him share that shit with his family. I'm sorry. Let him share that with his family, man.
You shouldn't have spoken.
No, I'm sorry. I respect what you did.
I'll rock with that.
I usually don't rock with the commissioner aspect of Trill, but I do this time.
Yeah, I have to rock with that. Respect, Trill. I understand. Pardon me.
Right.
Yeah, it's all good. I get it for them because it kind of puts it makes our boxing that we love. It makes it look But with Pacquiao, he deserves this. He deserves it. He truly does.
That big payday. Now y'all got that.
All right, Ned.
I hear y'all. I hear what y'all are saying, and I agree very much with it. But I'm just saying, Pacquiao, I don't think this is his last fight, yo. I think Pacquiao's not going to leave money on the table. When you look at the dollar signs that are being being shown to him, like, against Conor McGregor. First, I want to say this. Conor McGregor, what makes you want to step back into the box? All right.
It's the most money he's ever made.
This is the most money he made. The most money he's ever made was against Mayweather. I doubt he's going to make that again because after that performance against Mayweather, people was like, all right, this guy is just like, he's exploiting the sport.
He's going to make close enough.
He's going to make close enough. Connor's going to make close enough.
People bought that pay-per-view, but it's going to be, if they could pull off 100 million.
Over 4 million people bought that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I don't know if you recall, but McGregor won some rounds, and people were like impressed with his performance against Mayweather and felt like if he had more time, he probably could have done better.
And he's been in there with boxing and getting more time in, so he got a couple videos.
Yeah, all right. So
yeah, I wish I pulled up the clip of him throwing like hooks in the ring so Katie could show it was
all right. Yeah, so
fights like a UFC fighter, bro. He gonna get dominated, man.
So Mayweather let him win some rounds. And then Pacquiao's looking like this. Money on the table. I'm gonna take the money on the table. You know, like maybe it's probably gonna be a few more than what Pacquiao's ever made in his life. But he's gonna take it. You know, it's like it's just a come up. It's just a process where it's like it's a win-win situation right here. I beat him. Is I got that right? Shout out to the fans, yo. It's a win-win situation right here where so it's a win-win situation. He has money on the table, easy fight. There's nothing that could go wrong right here. And after this fight, I just think it's just a warm-up. It's a tune-up clearly to his last fight. And when his last fight is going to be where?
It should be Mayweather 2.
Nah, I don't think it should be, but I don't think it will be.
Yo, Floyd's been inactive for forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The loss from homie. You know what I mean? If you're going to retire with another old head. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that was sell. People want to see that fight, especially because the first one, he had a little shoulder injury, so people could kind of like, you know what, this fight could work. And because of Floyd's inactivity, they could sell that, man. It ain't going to be the same as the first one. But
you know what?
Units, man.
You know what? I think we got a new genre in boxing nowadays. Like, yo, I took like before when we was rating fighters, the gatekeepers. When we were doing the Gatekeeper Hall of Fame, I searched and Oliver McCall was still fighting. So look, Tyson's making a comeback. De La Hoya's making a comeback. Maybe we got a genre where we have the 50+ league or the 45 and above, like where people just they hang with themselves. Like there's no weight class. It's just if you want to fight and you're at that age, let them fight. You know,
at that age though. I was back at 41.
There's no weight class. Like, what are you talking about? All right, Ned, are you done?
In the
Respectfully, are you done?
I'm done.
Nah, go ahead.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm
Continue.
gonna let you. I'm done.
Go ahead.
I don't want
Go ahead.
to. I don't put things out there.
Go ahead.
I'm just
Go
saying.
ahead. Just keep going.
I'm done.
I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna just take this time to show Manny Pacquiao. This is Box Rec. Manny Pacquiao, as you can see, this man has given his life to the sport. He's given his life to the sport. 71 bouts, 486 rounds. He's been a professional since he was 15 years old.
Oh,
41.
y'all want him to continue fighting?
So when you look at his resume, let's look at world champ in 8 different weight classes. He fought Marco Antonio Barrera, Juan Manuel Marquez, and those were at 126. Eric Morales at 130. Wars with Eric Morales.
3 beautiful fights. Man, oh my goodness.
Marco Antonio Barrera again at 130. Juan Manuel Marquez.
Barrera, Wars.
Oscar,
Marquez, Wars.
Oscar De La Hoya, catch weight at 145. Ricky Hatton at 140. Miguel Cotto, catch weight 145. Joshua Clottey at 147. I'm naming Joshua Clottey because if you don't know who Joshua Clottey is, look him up. Look at how much bigger he was than Manny Pacquiao. And Joshua Clottey, he in his own right has a respectable resume. Antonio Margarito at 150. Shane Mosley at 147. Juan Manuel Marquez at 142. Timothy Bradley at 146. Now, he lost that fight, but they fought again 3 times. The point is, again, for me, you can lose a fight. Everyone will lose. The better your opponent, the greater your chances of losing a fight. Any real fighter can lose a fight. I give you credit for taking the risk of fighting someone who could actually beat you instead of fighting everyone you know you're going to beat. Timothy Bradley, Floyd Mayweather Jr.
How you gonna pass Brandon Rios, bro?
Brandon Rios isn't
back then.
No, shout out to Brandon.
Yeah, back then, bro.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Back then, Bam Bam Rios was.
Bam Rios. Shout out to Bam Bam.
Back then, Bam Bam Rios was a solid guy. I'm passing out Jerry. I don't want to hear it. All right, Floyd.
Oh, no. Not only is he a good boxer, he's a nutritionist.
You want to get your body right, holla at Al Jerry. No, but Floyd Mayweather Jr., come on, man. You know what it is. Arguably the best fighter that ever lived. Like, let's be real. He fought him. You got to give him credit for that. Timothy Bradley again. Jesse Vargas, good fight. Jeff Horn, come on, man. We all. Anyways, Lucas Matisse, Adrian Broner, and Keith Thurman. Do you see that resume?
That's crazy. That's a phenomenal resume. I'm not gonna lie.
First ballot Hall of Famer, dude. Like, he doesn't need to fight anyone else. Anyone else, and I'm going to be real, this goes for Earl Spence. This goes for Terrence Crawford. This goes for Danny Garcia. Any one of them who wants to fight Manny Pacquiao is only because they want fame off the name. That's it. They want to be the one to get fame off the name. Keith Thurman wanted to get fame off the name. He had the chance, but the boxing gods would not allow it. That's why Pacquiao dropped his behind. Pacquiao should take the fight that's going to make the most amount of money for him and his family and dip off. That's it. He doesn't need to turn Terrence Crawford into a star. Terrence Crawford only wants that fight because the easiest road to becoming a star is to beat Manny Pacquiao. Let's be real. That's the easiest path towards becoming a star. That's why he wants that fight. Nah, man, no one should be able to get fame off the name. Pacquiao should retire with his name, his rep intact, and he should retire making the biggest bag he possibly can. Go cook Conor McGregor. That's how I feel about it.
I totally agree. Please like and subscribe, and please tell us how you feel in the comment section. Also, check us out on Instagram and Twitter, and please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.
could have been flawless. Flying up to make people's mouths drop jawless. How can 2 years be erased in 1 August? And you know I have my pride, so I had to get brolic. All in all, I can't call it. Just know you're my queen. Wish I was denim, cause then I'd be in your jeans. Can't fight fate, and you've been loving me since your teens. But when you can't move forward, you gotta wipe your slate clean.